From the moment we're born, we begin to create a story of who we are, what we like, what we don't like, what we're good at, what we're bad at. We build this story, brick by brick, experience by experience, until we've constructed an entire edifice of self. We call this edifice me. We call it I. We believe it is who we truly are. But is it? Is this collection of memories, preferences, and beliefs really our true nature? Or is it merely a construct, a convenient fiction we've created to navigate the world? Think about it for a moment. When you say I, what do you really mean? Are you your body? But your body is constantly changing, cells dying and being reborn every moment. The body you had as a child is not the body you have now. Are you your thoughts? But thoughts come and go, often unbidden. You don't choose your thoughts, they simply arise in consciousness. Are you your emotions? But emotions are fleeting, changing from moment to moment. Joy can turn to sorrow in an instant, calm to anger in a heartbeat. Are you your memories? But memories are notoriously unreliable, changing and fading over time. And what of the moments you don't remember? Are they not part of you? So what, then, is this self we cling to so desperately? It's a story, a narrative we've woven together from the threads of our experience, a character we've created and continue to play day after day. But here's the thing about stories. They're not real. They're useful, certainly. They help us make sense of the world, navigate relationships, pursue goals. But they're not the fundamental truth of who we are. They're more like a costume we wear, a role we play in the grand theater of life. And like all roles, all costumes, they can be shed. This is what the great spiritual teachers throughout history have pointed to. When the Buddha spoke of anatta, or no self, when Jesus said to deny yourself, when the Advaita sages of India spoke of neti neti, not this, not that, they were all pointing to this profound truth. Our true nature lies beyond the story of self. But how do we discover this truth for ourselves? How do we look beyond the story to see what's really there? The first step is to become aware of the story, to notice how we constantly narrate our experience, how we label and judge every moment based on our preferences and past experiences. I like this. I don't like that. This is good. That is bad. All day long, this inner commentary runs, shaping our perception of reality, reinforcing our sense of being a separate self. But what if we could pause this commentary, even for a moment? What if we could simply experience life as it is, without the filter of our story? This is the essence of meditation and mindfulness practices. They train us to observe our thoughts and emotions without getting caught up in them, to witness the play of experience without immediately labeling or judging it. As we practice this, something remarkable begins to happen. We start to see the gaps in our story, the moments when our usual sense of self falls away, and we're left with what? Pure awareness, consciousness itself, the silent witness that observes all experience, yet is untouched by it. This awareness is what we truly are. It's the backdrop against which all experience unfolds, the screen on which the movie of our life plays out. And unlike our story of self, this awareness is constant. It doesn't change or fluctuate with circumstances. It's always here, always now, always aware. As we begin to recognize this awareness as our true nature, the grip of our story begins to loosen. We no longer feel compelled to defend or protect our self-image, because we realize it's just that, an image, not our true essence. We start to see our thoughts, emotions, and experiences as passing phenomena, like clouds drifting through the vast sky of awareness. We no longer say, I am angry, but rather, anger is arising in awareness. We no longer say, I am depressed, but rather, depression is being experienced. This subtle shift in perspective can have profound implications. It frees us from the tyranny of our emotions and thoughts. We're no longer at their mercy, because we no longer identify with them completely. We gain a new kind of freedom, the freedom to choose our response to life, rather than merely reacting based on our conditioned patterns. But let's be clear, dissolving the self doesn't mean we stop functioning in the world. It doesn't mean we become passive or indifferent. On the contrary, when we're no longer caught up in defending and promoting our self-image, we can engage with life more fully, more authentically. We can allow ourselves to be vulnerable, to take risks, to love without fear of loss, because we know that our true nature can never be threatened or diminished. We can pursue our goals and dreams with passion while holding them lightly, knowing that our worth doesn't depend on their achievement. We can face life's challenges with equanimity, knowing that whatever happens, our essential nature remains untouched. This is the paradox of dissolving the self. In letting go of who we think we are, we discover who we truly are. And who we truly are is far more vast, more beautiful, more profound than any story we could ever construct. We are the awareness in which all experience arises. We are the silence beneath all sounds. We are the space in which all forms appear. And from this recognition, a deep peace arises. A peace that doesn't depend on external circumstances, but wells up from our very nature. This is the peace that passeth all understanding, the joy that needs no reason, the love that has no opposite. It's always here, always available, waiting to be recognized. So I invite you to pause, right now, to set aside, just for a moment, your story of who you are, to let go of all concepts and beliefs about yourself, and in that open, receptive space, to simply be aware of the sounds around you, aware of the sensations in your body, aware of the thoughts and emotions passing through, and aware of the awareness itself. Can you sense it? That silent, spacious presence that's aware of it all? That's who you really are. That's what remains when the story of self dissolves. And in recognizing this, you realize a profound truth. You are perfect and complete, just as you are, just as you've always been. Not the you of your story, but the real you, the awareness that you are. And in this recognition, you are free from the limitations of your story, free to be fully, authentically yourself, free to experience life in all its richness and depth, without the filters of your conditioning. This is the gift of dissolving the self. This is the treasure that awaits when we look beyond our stories and discover who we truly are, and accept that we are perfect and complete,